Yeah.
You want to like him, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. We straight gangsters over here,
Straight
man.
gangsters. Yeah, welcome in on this beautiful Tuesday morning. You are listening to Scout Team Sports. I am one of your gracious hosts. They call me Loudbeard.
You are the most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
Yes, and all of that is true. And the man on the other microphone, he's the great patriot himself, right behind the Mark Sanchez, and that would be...
Yeah, it's your boy Chris America coming to you live this Tuesday morning, December the 4th. Loudbeard, December the 4th be with you.
That's my Loudbird impression.
Yeah, I hear that. December the 4th be with you, Loudbeard.
May the December the 4th be with you too, Chris America. You know why December the 4th needs to be with me? Because I'm in mourning.
Yes.
I'm in mourning over the loss of another quarterback. I have had the worst year for quarterbacks I have ever had in the entirety of my life.
Your whole team, dude.
Yeah,
Somebody
the whole
took like
thing.
a Redskins voodoo doll and has just been going to town on it. Your whole
Everywhere.
team has just been depleted.
Wide receivers, tight ends,
Running
offensive
back.
linemen, running back, quarterbacks. Every skill position has had injuries. And even on a day when we get a guy like Chris Thompson, who's a dynamic running back, even though he went to the school known as the Florida State School of Assisted Friendship something. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. But Chris Thompson is a dynamic running back, and we get him back, and we lose our now starting quarterback, Colt McCoy, fractured fibia. After seeing what happened to Alex Smith, we get another quarterback with a broken leg, and the era begins, Chris America. The era to end all other eras, and that would be the era of Mark Sanchez coming in as our new franchise quarterback. And for once in my life, Chris America, I'm going to be grounded, and I am going to say Mark Sanchez is not a top 5 quarterback. I have to be real with you right now. I have to be real with you.
Top 6?
He's hanging out of the top 5 barely. He's barely hanging out. He's got to show me something first. But he is close.
Yes,
he's
he's
real
like around
close.
Top 7, top 8.
Yeah, I would say that's about accurate. That's close.
That's a fair assessment. That's a fair analysis on your part as a Redskins fan. I can appreciate that. I mean, he came out explosive. First play of the game, or first play he had in the game. He took the snap well. He turned around well. He ran back well. Put the ball right into AP's chest. The defense didn't know what was going on. They were so afraid of Sanchez's arm that they forgot to cover AP, and AP took it to the house. Longest rush in AP's career, 90 yards to the house.
Wow.
All because of Mark Sanchez.
All because of Mark Sanchez. And AP, it's not like this is the beginning of his career. This is a Hall of Famer who has had a tremendous career, has run all over the NFL for year and year and year, and all of a sudden he gets the right quarterback in Mark Sanchez, and we finally get to see his real potential. And that's a 90-yard rushing touchdown all over that Eagles defense. That defense was just staring at each other, just absolutely confused, bamboozled. They were hogwashed, and they just didn't know what was going on. Hoodwinked, yes, all of the above.
Now, Loudbeard, I think as good as Sanchez is, I think Mark Sanchez needs to admit that he's not the future because he's getting up in age as well. I think it's time for Sanchez to fall on the sword and start the tank for your Washington Redskins. I know that's hard to hear, and I think he started that. I think he showed his potential, but then he said, you know what? This franchise needs its next quarterback. I can't be it because I'm not there in age yet, or I'm too far in age. And I don't want to steal the spotlight from some young rookie out there. I don't want him to miss his opportunity to play for the greatest franchise in all of sports history. So I'm going to fall on the sword and let the Washington Redskins be in a position to bless some young man to play for the Washington Redskins as the quarterback of the future.
Yeah, the problem is
That
with
was
this theory.
Wait. That's the thought process he was going through as he was playing the game? Is that what we're going
I
with?
actually spoke to Mark Sanchez on the phone afterwards. We always talk at least once a week, especially twice after games, and that's what he told me. He said, Chris America, you know how much of an entrepreneur, or not an entrepreneur, but a philanthropist I am. I like to give to others, and this organization is the best organization I've ever worked for. They need a quarterback of the future. Some young man out there might end up being Aaron Rodgers' backup, and I can't allow that to happen. I need to let him play for the Washington Redskins.
Well, he has been through a lot of organizations, so I can't argue with that. But okay, if that's what we're going with, that's what we're going with.
Now, for all of our listeners out there, if you hear a third voice that just snuck in on you, that's the Golden Ghost. He likes to come in every once in a while and haunt us. They basically call him the Mark Sanchez of sports talk radio. And Golden Ghost, I have one question for you. Why are you here?
Hey, I'm just here so I won't get fined. Hey, I'm
I'm just here so I don't get fined, man. Good morning, guys. Sorry, I had some little technical difficulties.
That's all right.
Yeah, no
Good
worries,
morning.
man. I almost did too.
It's that kind of morning. It's a Tuesday haunting
Yeah.
coming at you hot. December 4th.
Absolutely.
Scout team.
Hey, you know how I know the Redskin was doing bad? I didn't get text messages after like 10 o'clock from you.
I also wake up early and I go to sleep early, and it was hard to stay up through that game because when Mark
a boring
Sanchez is
game.
your quarterback and all of a sudden things get real boring and the Eagles get a good lead and you think, okay, it's the fourth quarter. Can Mark Sanchez bring us back from down 2 scores? Okay, good night. I'll get the
Yeah.
highlights in the morning.
Good night, Moon.
Yeah. And I am going to say this really quick. Mark Sanchez is in the league and Colin Kaepernick isn't. I'm just going to throw it out there, man.
Yeah, I started seeing the tweets coming out. That was a popular tweet last night. Like, the Redskins need to call Cap. Make this happen. Call him in. He needs to be on this team. We need a new starter. Sanchez is in the league, and Kaepernick is not like... You know what? I don't even know if Colin Kaepernick is in playing shape. Has he been working out? Has he been training, or has he become more of a figurehead for his movement? I mean, I don't
Loudbeard,
know.
It's funny you say that. I just talked to Colin Kaepernick as well last night on the phone. We actually three-wayed between me, Mark Sanchez, and Colin Kaepernick.
You did what?
We three-wayed.
You did what?
We did a three-way.
Okay.
I had a
Continue
picture of
on.
Anthony by the bed the whole time.
Let's keep it clean.
As
Go
long
ahead.
as he was
That
wearing
is
that
clean. We're
sweater
talking about a
vest.
three-way call. What are you guys
That picture of
talking
him
about?
All right,
on social
perfect,
media with the
perfect.
sweater vest is sexy.
Yeah,
You
so
like that sweater vest. You know,
So Colin Kaepernick says that he goes to Rebounders every single day. If you guys don't know what Rebounders is, it's a local business here that's a little trampoline place where you get to bounce around and have lots of fun, and they play like dodgeball games. So that's what he's been doing with his time to stay in football shape. And he also told me that as much as he appreciates everybody's love and support, he can't come and play in the NFL until this lawsuit is done. He's got to make sure that this lawsuit is taken care of first. The NFL is not going to let him in as long as he's suing the league. I mean, they weren't letting him in beforehand, but now they definitely can't let him in. Now that he's officially suing the league, that legal matter's got to be taken care of first. So unfortunately for your Redskins, they are not going to get the greatness of Colin Kaepernick.
No,
well,
I don't
there's
think
only
so
4
either.
games left in this season anyway, so it's all right. I get it. I get it.
Well, you know, the Redskins, you mentioned them tanking and that being a possibility. The problem with the Redskins is they actually started out the season not too shabby. They were 6-3, a very healthy, good, positive 6-3, and now they are 6-6, 3-game losing streak while losing 2 quarterbacks to broken legs during that process. This is just kind of going to be a downward spiral. My expectations were not very high anyway, and now they have moved to be much lower, and we can tank, but at 6 wins, what are we going to get, the 7th or 8th pick in the draft? We're not even going to, like, even if we lose out, we're still not going to get that that top 5 pick like what we would need to get the electric quarterback coming out, and I don't even know what that's going to look like. So I don't know. Right now, my optimism and my enthusiasm and my encouragement for this team is just all out the window. It's not looking good. I feel like a Cleveland Browns fan.
And you know what's crazy? I felt like this was a statement year for Jay Gruden, and now he doesn't even get it because of all the injuries. So, I mean, they can fire Jay Gruden, but it would be hard to justify it that he didn't get his opportunity to make his statement season because so many players are getting injured. I mean, it was like a laundry list last night with them going through all the different players that have just missed so many games. And what's crazy more than that is that Jordan Reed's not one of them. He's usually the most injury-prone player. He's a Gator legend, but I feel like he's always injured, and he's actually been one of the guys that's continued to play.
Yeah, I think he's only missed maybe 1 game, maybe 2 or something, which is like an absolute record for him. Absolute
That is
record.
a record, yeah.
Yeah, world record breaker.
Somewhere around there. Yeah, it's gonna be tough for you guys, man. I don't know what you can do. I don't know if you really want to do anything with this short amount of time left in the season. Even if you do go find a quarterback, who you getting in the play? I mean, you getting them in the playoffs in what, first round exit, if that? You know, I don't know, man.
So I
think you're done this season.
The tank. Then you just pack it in, lose the next 4 games, and get the best position to draft a player. I mean, the way that the Giants are playing, they might move their way all the way up to where the Redskins are, and then you guys can jump over them in the draft and draft a quarterback while they're stuck with Eli Manning.
Come on, man. Why is everybody always hating on Eli Manning? He gives us such good facial expressions. I don't want him to leave the league. I just want to see those every year.
I see Twitter. Memphis Spence is listening right now. He said, "Who are the available quarterbacks left if the Redskins if Sanchez gets injured?" Holy crap, Woo, bro! That's a tough spot to be in. Who else is available if Sanchez gets injured? Who is Sanchez's backup?
There is one Timothy Richard Tebow who's out there as well.
No.
Yeah.
Wait,
I don't know how his hand is coming along. I mean, I know he broke it over the summer, but I feel like it should be healed by now.
We're going to go with... Never mind. I'm not... Okay. Sure. If that's what you're going with. That's what you're going with. Tebow? Out of all people, Tebow? That's who's the
I would
best one
take
out
Tim
there?
Tebow. That will put butts in the seats. I'm telling you right there. Butts in the seats. Tim Tebow. Oh, no. Wait a second. Hold on 1 second. Excuse me, caller. You're on the air. We got a caller on our morning show. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, this is Felix at the Regency Inn, room 101.
Hey, Felix. How are you doing
Okay,
this
Felix,
morning?
you giving your name out and your address?
I'm good because I'm calling about your injury list that's going on with the Washington Redskins. I wanted to talk to you gentlemen about that.
All right.
I have good information that the CIA is poisoning the water in Washington, D.C. and is making people's bones brittle. I just wanted to let you know that the CIA is doing this to weaken out the population. That is why the Washington Redskins players have been going down injured. I must end this transmission because the CIA is currently listening to me now.
Did you order the code red, Felix? Oh, my God. He just hung up on me like
gone. I don't think his real name was
that. That
Felix.
was weird.
I don't think his room was at the Regency at 101. That's a weird guy, man.
I feel like that was a fake hotel room. I don't even think he was really at the Regency, whatever he said.
I think we need to start screening phone calls. Like, we need to screen them before we let them on the air, man.
I don't think so. I think sometimes you go live and raw and uncut.
Roll them. That's what we are.
Uncensored.
We're live and uncut. Scout team.
Scout team. Yeah.
Okay. Once again, we're rolling with that on a Taco Tuesday morning. Let's roll with it.
All right,
Tuesday.
so to roll with Memphis Spence's question, honestly, who else can the Redskins get on their team as a quarterback? Like, so if Sanchez is the starter moving forward, on the backup role, we're going to say Kaepernick, but we know that, he's hasn't been in the league, hasn't been given any chances. Excluding Kaepernick,
who's your
what
backup
other
now?
quarterbacks? Huh?
Who's your backup now?
Mark Sanchez was the third string quarterback that they signed this week. He was the backup. We didn't have a third string quarterback signed on the roster. It was just Alex Smith and Colt McCoy. When Alex went down, they signed Sanchez, and it was McCoy and Sanchez. McCoy goes down, and it's just Sanchez. So now they need to bring in another quarterback. I know when they were trying out Sanchez, they also brought in T.J. Yates and Paxton Lynch. So they'll probably bring in those two faces again. But I don't know what other quarterbacks. Is there another quarterback other than Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick that would even mean anything to this Redskins team? Or is this basically just pick up another washed-up backup that can come in and be a backup like a T.J. Yates and a Paxton Lynch?
I think you go to the Cleveland Browns and you
Wow.
say, hey, can I get the phone number to every one of your previous quarterbacks, please? And then you just work your way down that list.
Wow, that's a long
They
list.
have had a lot of quarterbacks. Yeah.
I bet Tim Couch is available.
I know.
He's a legend.
I think you should just have. I think you just have Adrian Peterson play quarterback. I mean, why not?
Yeah. No.
I'm just saying.
I guess
is he
if
better than
Odell
Mark
was
Sanchez?
available, he's got a beautiful pass. Odell would be a better quarterback, I think, than what we've got on our roster. We need to get one of those converted
You
wide
guys-
receivers that used to be a quarterback in high school and have him come and play. Like I think Adam Thielen or some of these other guys that have done that. Back in the day, Antoine Randall L. was the perfect wide receiver that used to be a quarterback. Maybe bring back Terrell Pryor and actually make him a quarterback again. Or is Tyrod Taylor still available? Come on, Cleveland. You don't need a backup. You got Baker. Share your wealth. Somebody,
Is
please.
Tyrod?
Save it.
Is Tyrod available? That's a good question. That wouldn't actually be bad for you. Actually,
Ooh, we have gotten one of the best suggestions I have heard in a very long time on the Twitter machine at Memphis Spence, longtime listener, good friend of the show. He suggests, will Johnny Football be dancing in D.C.? Question mark.
no.
What?
No.
That's right. CFL legend, bringing it in hot. Thank you, Memphis Spence. Uh-oh. Second, I take that back. I think Memphis Spence's tweet may have been one-upped by Ian
Yes.
Hall. He
Yes.
suggests that Nathan Peterman is available.
Holy crap.
If you really want to tank, Nathan Peterman is on the streets right now, and he has starting quarterback experience. He would be a fantastic fit into this
God.
Washington lineup. Wow, great tweets coming in from our listeners. Thank you, guys. We appreciate that.
I mean, I care about Washington, but like, don't do that to yourselves. Don't. Yeah, seriously,
Honestly,
just
at this point, it's not going to get any better.
No.
I mean,
it
yeah.
can get a lot worse though.
But at least a lot worse
Get a
gets a
lot
lot
worse.
better. Like, that's the beauty about the NFL. Everybody in college football likes to say that every game doesn't matter in the NFL. No, every win and every loss in the NFL counts towards something. If you go 0-12 in college football, the only good thing that comes out of that is maybe you get another good head coach. Other than that, nothing else comes of it. In fact, it's worse because other players look at that and say, don't want to play for that team. I'm going somewhere else. Whereas in the NFL, they don't get a choice. You're playing for the Browns. We just drafted you.
It's a good point. Very
Well,
good
Browns
point
won't
there.
have
So
the
your
number one pick this
losses,
year, though,
your
so-
losses count towards something. Your wins count towards something. Every single game in the NFL matters and counts. And that's something that college football doesn't have.
We're gonna go right to that. Yeah, whatever. But don't do that to yourselves, though. Seriously. I mean, even if you're saying every game does count, don't go get Nick Peterman. Don't do it. It'll be bad. It'll be horrible. Let it ride. I would rather have Colin Kaepernick on my team than Peterman all day long. Even if Colin Kaepernick is out of shape, at least he has more potential than Peterman. We know exactly what Peterman is gonna do. Like, he's not gonna come in and be Fitzmagic for you. No. So no, let it ride. Don't do it. Just don't.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not a bad idea?
I would get.
Are you positive?
Okay, this is what I would get Tebow before I get Peterman, and that's pretty bad.
That is bad.
No, I think that's good.
That's bad.
Well, in
guys-
the grand scheme, I don't think anybody could be as bad as Peterman, but Tim Tebow would be a much improvement onto what we have already. So I think it would be a win either way. But go ahead, Chris America, carry us on.
As much as I'd love to just go down the laundry list of terrible quarterbacks who have played in the NFL all episode long, I think we need to move on. And we started talking about every game mattered. We had a tweet at us also while we were discussing this quarterback. We tweeted out a few days ago, ready for an 8-team playoff? Turn your TVs off Monday, January 7th. The broke college football playoff system will not change if you keep watching. Hashtag CFP blackout. And @in_the_positive tweeted at us, laugh out loud. I really hope he was laughing out loud. Most people are lying when they tweet that. What a loser. Yes, I want an 8-team playoff. But to give the current playoffs the cold shoulder is downright treasonous. Yes, in the positive. You mean treasonous like George Washington and the colonials who fought against the crown? You mean that kind of treasonous? This is America. If you want things, you have to fight for it. Sometimes that means creating treason. Sometimes that means doing things you don't want to do. If you continue to watch, they're going to never change. If they get to the end of this CFP contract and they say, wow, look, our numbers are up. I hear all the complaining, but we're making loads of money. Let's keep things the same. That's exactly what's going to happen. But if they get to the end of this contract, then they're like, kind of went up and down. The fans are complaining. We're not making as much money as we could be making. That's when you're going to see change.
That's right. Take it to their pockets. You got to see a difference, losers.
And I mean, to be honest with you, if it's Clemson, Alabama, I might not just watch just because I'm bored with the matchup. I did the same thing with the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. I did not watch maybe but 20 seconds of the finals last year, guys. And it wasn't really out of, I'm boycotting or anything like that. I just wasn't interested. I said, I'm out. This is boring. At most, LeBron James is going to get one win, and I'm not going to sit here and waste my nights trying to figure out which night that's going to be that he's going to get his one win. Luckily for me, he ended up getting swept, and I didn't miss anything.
You know what, though? I'm just going to point this out. This goes against your principle against any given Saturday, any given championship, any given game, though. Because you're like, hey, give UCF a chance, but then you won't give Clemson a chance. I'm just pointing that out.
No.
I
think
like a hypocrite.
I think Clemson can beat Alabama. It's just I've seen that before.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with. It has nothing
If
to do with.
Clemson had never have been given a
Clemson-
shot, I would say,
How many
okay,
ti-
this isn't fair to Clemson. But, I mean, how many opportunities does Clemson get? Clemson gets afforded an opportunity, even if they have a loss they would have been in, where UCF, if they go all the way through. So I don't care if I don't consume their product because, to me, it doesn't matter.
You know when I want to see Clemson versus Alabama for the third, fourth, fifth, or sixth time? I want to see it in the regular season. I want to see Alabama
I'll agree
travel
with you
to
on that, but-
Clemson in November rather than having the Citadel come play them. That's when I want to see Alabama versus Clemson.
Hey, I'm all for it, but remember, Clemson did win one of those. No,
Again, this has nothing to do with can
I'm just
Clemson
saying.
win or not win. It has nothing to do with that. It just has everything to do with, wow, another Clemson versus. It's just like with anything. Like, I don't want to see the same movie over and over and over again. Like, how many times can they make The Bachelor? How many times can I see a dude go through a string of women, hand out roses, and then call it a day? Like, how many times can we watch that?
That show's been on
Apparently
for
a
like
lot because
20
there's another
years.
season coming
Yeah,
out.
that show's been on for like 20 years and like 5 different series about Bachelor, Bachelorette with it. But
Yeah.
anyway, we digress. even though we've seen Clemson by Alabama before, those teams have turned over twice already though too. I mean, it's in a span of 5 years. So those teams are not the same exact teams as they were 3 years ago. So
yes and no, but like I said, I don't think it's going to be the 21-6 game. I have no doubt it's going to be an exciting game, but it's a made-for-TV game. It's a game that was propped up by a committee, not propped up by the fact that they earned their way through a playoff. I mean, at least Cleveland and Golden State had to go through 3 series of 7 games to get to where they are, and they actually earned it, and I still wasn't interested. So this makes it even worse that it's set up by the powers that be rather than set up by the play on the field.
I hear you. I'm just saying those kids playing are different kids, and they deserve the same shot as everybody else. And don't
Nobody's
take
saying
this
they
the
don't
wrong
deserve
way.
a shot. We're just saying I don't. In order to create change, you have to stop watching. That's the only way to send the message.
You said those kids on the field deserved it and they earned their shot. What is that any different than these other teams that have earned it but get left out because they weren't picked? That's what I'm saying. That's the point of not consuming it.
And don't twist my words. I am all for burning it down. # burn it down. I am for UCF getting in the top 4. They deserve the shot after 2 years of being undefeated. They absolutely deserve the shot to get in there. So don't get it twisted. I'm not against the movement. I'm all for it. But I'm just saying those kids that are playing, they worked hard too. So
yeah, and whether I'm watching or not watching won't matter to them.
They're going to play regardless. Yeah.
They still will not get a pay. Like their paycheck won't be affected by how many people watch this game. That's a fact because there is no paycheck.
They don't get a paycheck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, their scholarship will still go through. They'll still do their thing. But if I want change, and if other college football players, if Ohio State players, if UCF players. Hell, if any like Kentucky players, because let's face it, if Kentucky was a 1-loss team, or if Kentucky was a 2-loss team that barely lost to Georgia or Alabama in the SEC championship, nobody's fighting hard for Kentucky like they were Georgia this past weekend. And that's a fact.
Yeah,
True story. True story. Kentucky's not getting that same love where the entire sports turd network all turns around and says, whoa, whoa, whoa. Even though they lost their championship, Georgia gets a shot. If it was Kentucky, they'd be like, well, nice try, Kentucky. You're a good friend, and we'll miss you.
And your boy Kirby Smart there, Golden Ghost, I think it's time to jump ship on this guy. This guy is one of he's quickly, even though he's the Georgia coach, I've never really hated him. After hearing this statement, and Loudbird, if you can find the drop, the thinker or stinker, I'm going to give you some time on this. This is definitely makes me hate Kirby Smart, the Georgia quarterback. Just utterly dude, come on. You got it ready, left.
An idiot sandwich.
Sorry.
An idiot sandwich.
Fat fingers this morning. Fat fingers.
Try it again.
The thinker or the stinker.
Kirby Smart. I'm not surprised. The committee knew if they let Georgia in, that trophy would be going home with us.
Can you hear me, Chris America?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. So Anthony just texted that he lost us.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if you and I were still on or if he was gone, but maybe on that note, we
go
a
to
little
break.
reboot, go to break, and when we come back,
we'll
we
decide
will
if
talk about
Kirby
something
Smart,
else.
if Kirby
Go
Smart is a thinker or stinker.
Is he really, though? Thinker or a stinker?
When I'm working hard, I build up a thirst for sports. That's when I grab a cold 12-ounce sports radio. "12-ounce sports radio. Quench your sports thirst."
guess who it is? Did you know the station had a janitor? Oh, yeah, the Jefe, otherwise known as Beck. And it's Beck's Work Week in Review live on 12 Ounce Sports Radio every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch interviews, special guests, and the recap of the week's news and headlines and box scores and results. It's Beck's Work Week in Review live on 12 Ounce Sports Radio.
Scout Team listeners and friends of the show, I've got something special for you. It looks like 12 Ounce Sports Radio has done it again. We have partnered with Rally House. You just go to the website, 12ozsportsradio.com. Click on the banner on the right side of the page, and it will take you directly to Rally House. Rally House has some of the greatest, most unique sports items for that diehard fan, casual fan, and anybody and everybody out there that is special in your life. So go ahead and check it out. Once again, go to that website, 12ozsportsradio.com. Click on the banner to the right of the page, and you will get taken to the best sports merchandise website on all of the interweb. Do you own a small business? Are you looking for solutions to all of your communications, problems, and challenges that you have? Check out Ring Central. Give them a call. They have partnered with 12ouncesportsradio.com to give you the best rates on all of your business and office solutions for communication. Give them a call today. We have a dedicated line for all of the 12-ounce sports radio listeners. It is 1-877-779-3860. You will get a representative on the phone who will help you with all of your small business communications needs. Once again, give them a call today, 1-877-779-3860. Yeah, welcome back after that quick commercial break. We appreciate all of our listeners listening in to Scout Team Sports. He's Chris America, he's the Golden Ghost, and I am Loud Bear. We are bringing it to you hot and live like we do each and every AM, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m., and again, replay at 11 a.m. on 12-ounce Sports Radio. If you have not had an opportunity to listen back to some of our older shows and you want to hear some of the greatness of the Scout Team, you can go to our website, scoutteamradio.com, or go to iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you find podcasts, and you can search Scout Team Radio or Scout Team Sports, and you will find us. And also, we love getting social, and hit the show up on Twitter. We are at Scout Team Radio on Twitter. You're going to have a good time listening in, liking us, following us, doing everything you can on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, at Scout Team Radio. So make sure you check all of those things out. So without further ado, Chris America, we were interrupted by some technical difficulties, which was not any fault of anybody except maybe the monsters that live inside my laptop. But I want to know, for all of you listeners out there, is Kirby Smart a thinker or a stinker? I know Chris America wants to know it too. He will be back in just a minute to talk about that. But I want to make sure that all of our listeners know that we appreciate what you're doing. And if you go on our Twitter page at Scout Team Radio, follow our campaign, hashtag CFP Blackout. We are trying to create a revolution. We are ready to revolutionize the world and make a difference. So, gentlemen, are you back? Do we have another person on the microphone?
Back. The thinker or the stinker.
Carry on,
Did we
my
get the
friend.
Golden Ghost back? I see he's tweeting. He's still tweeting.
He can't talk and tweet at the same time, so usually he'll tweet and then he'll come back, and then afterwards he'll give a little. He might sneak in, maybe over or under on that.
All right, you guys hear me now?
He's back. I can hear you
all
now.
All right. Here we go. Let's roll. Let's do this.
All
now,
right.
What were you saying about Kirby?
All right, so Kirby Smart, responding to not making the playoffs, says, I'm not surprised. the committee knew if they let Georgia in, that trophy would be going home with us. He said it just like that.
That's how he said.
I'm not surprised, guys. They knew if they would let Georgia in, that trophy would be going home with us. That's your boy. That's your boy right there.
Oh, man.
Crying like a little child.
Look,
what coach says
I'm
that? The
I'm not
committee
gonna
didn't
say
let
he's
us in
crying.
because they didn't let Georgia. That's why they didn't let Georgia, because they knew that we would take it. And like, really, if anybody has that gripe, it's Josh Heupel and the UCF Knights.
I am not going to say it's crying. I can't say it's too much swagger either, because
There is zero swag in that.
Spur, every coach does that, though.
No.
Every coach kind of pits their team on the, as he does. Spurrier used to cry all the time, and you know it.
UCF going
just throwing
25-0 can say they didn't let us in because they knew we would win. The guy that just choked away a 14-point lead against Alabama for the second time in less than a year cannot say they didn't let us in because they knew we'd win. And that's
It's
true.
a bad look, man, but I can't. I don't know. It's a bad look, but I can't. Every coach puts their team up there, though. You know what I'm saying? Every coach does it, man. Everybody. So
You can
it is what
say,
it
I
is.
feel like if they would have let us in, we would have made some noise, we would have won, we would have bounced back. But you can't say that the committee didn't let you win because they didn't want you to win, so we're taking our ball and going home. And
Yeah,
now
it's
I'm
a
just
bad
That's
going,
one interpretation of it. That's one
Now, my
interpretation of it.
I was
interpretation
rooting
is
for Texas
crybaby.
beforehand. Now I'm going to really be rooting for Texas to throttle and embarrass Georgia.
Okay.
Anthony's a big
Well for
Georgia
you,
fan.
but okay.
You sure you want to say that? I mean, he's a big fan.
Georgia, I have hopes for Georgia and Kirby Smart. They've been doing good things in recruiting and good things on the field. So
Georgia
I
fans have had hopes for Georgia for the last 30 years as well. So welcome to the team.
Yeah, I hear you.
You'll
I'm
fit
just-
right in with Georgia fans. We'll get them
I
next
like
year,
the recruits
guys.
they've been getting, man.
We'll get them next year, guys.
That's been their motto for a long time. Yes.
Yes.
We'll see what happens, man.
1980, I think, was their last championship. Is that when Herschel Walker won a championship with them?
Ooh.
I think so. Yeah.
Been a
Anyways,
while.
what else is on the slate there, Loudbeard?
Okay, so Heisman finalists are announced. So really,
Ooh.
the big two are Tua and Kyler Murray. Now, Dwayne Haskins is also in that conversation, but I think he's going to end up third in this conversation. A lot of people felt like Tua was running away with it, but after the injury and Hurts coming in, that could have affected his Heisman stock. And Kyler Murray, he's been carrying a team with an absolute abysmal defense all year long. And to me, my personal opinion is this is Kyler Murray's award to win. But I know Alabama fans out there would absolutely just roll over in their whatever houses and trailers and boxes that they live in and would be pissed off that I would say that. But Kyler Murray, when I look at the entirety of his season and how well he has played, to me should be the Heisman finalist and the Heisman winner. But what do you guys think?
I'm actually looking through Kirby Smart's Twitter page, and he actually has a tweet here that says the Heisman Association didn't invite me because they knew if I would have showed up in New York, I would have gone home with the Heisman Trophy. And then he tweeted Kirby Smart out with the mic and then the down arrow.
Wow.
Bro.
Yeah.
Mike dropped it, huh?
Bro.
Wow, he's ballsy.
He's got that swag.
He's just hating on Kirby, man.
But yes,
Just
I
hating
agree
on
with
my
you.
boy.
Kyler Murray, definitely the Heisman Trophy winner. Tua had a great season, and if he wins the
Yes.
Heisman Trophy, I won't be mad at it with either of these guys. I just feel like Kyler Murray is just the better overall player, and this is the most outstanding player. I think Tua deserves the I can't think of the name of the award right now. The O'Brien Award, which I believe is the best quarterback. I believe he gets that. But I mean, when you look at Kyler Murray's athleticism and what he can do, he can make a play with his arms, with his legs. At any point in the field, he can just either throw a 70-yard pass or run a 70-yard run all the way to the end zone. That's why he gets my Heisman vote.
Mac, are you Tua or
So
Team
you
Kyler?
got Murray over. Man, you got to go with the best player, and Tua is the best player, right? Even though he got injured, you can't fault the injury. You can't take the injury.
No.
against him,
I'm faulting the fact that he can't run 70-yard touchdown run at any point in time in the game.
It's a close race, so
It is a
either
close
way,
race.
you're
Yeah.
not going to have a wrong answer. So you're going all Tua on us, Anthony Mack, and that's not a bad choice because both of these guys have been dynamic players throughout the entire season. I'm giving the edge to Kyler, but I would not be surprised if an Alabama quarterback wins Heisman because there hasn't been any Alabama quarterbacks in this conversation for a very long time, and they finally have one. I think this could be I don't know. I feel like it's going to be Tua, but I think it should be Kyler.
I think Kyler is going to have the bigger overall game when they play against each other, and I think the Heisman Trophy should wait until that time. Don't you think?
Yeah, I do. But don't they announce it ahead of that, right?
It
Yeah,
should
they
be
announced
this
it,
weekend.
yeah.
It should be this weekend or the weekend after. I believe it's this weekend.
Yeah, it's usually announced ahead of that.
Yeah,
So
it's
that game
close.
doesn't even matter at this point. It's all basically
Oh no!
regular
It never
season
has.
award.
It's always been like
Yeah.
the weekend
Yeah,
after
it's always ahead of
the
that.
championship games. But that's always been the discussion too. That the Heisman Trophy should be given out. We saw that with Vince Young and Reggie Bush, where Vince Young just put on a show in the national championship game. So I think that's what we're going to see from Oklahoma and Kyler Murray. I think they're going to put on a show. Everybody's waiting for this staunch Alabama defense to come out and stop Oklahoma, and I've heard ridiculous predictions on other shows like 52-27. Yeah, they know who they are. They're listening. I've heard that kind of ridiculous prediction. They're not holding Oklahoma to under 30 points. If there's something that I know about Nick Saban's defense, is it gets shredded by elite quarterbacks and elite spread offenses. If you look back at every one of Alabama's losses, they're to spread offenses for the most part. I think my boy Steve Spurrier beat him back in 2010. He didn't run a spread offense, but you look at Utah, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Florida. Those are all the teams that beat them, and when they beat them, they put up over 30 points, and they do it with ease for the most part. I mean, they lost 43-37 to Ole Miss. 43 points. The staunch Alabama defense got shredded by an elite quarterback. Look what happened when Texas A&M had Johnny Manziel. He was the type of quarterback that it took to beat Alabama. And I think Kyler Murray
now, huh?
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, now that he's elite. Now that he wants to go to the Redskins and be a quarterback.
Yeah, now
he
he's
is
elite. No, I mean he was
top
he
five.
was an elite college quarterback back in the day.
I love me some Johnny Football. He
You
was
do.
an elite quarterback. Still is. He's still around.
Yeah.
He'll be elite for the Redskins real soon.
You watch. Just go through every single Alabama loss. Yes, they're close. Did they blow them out? No, nobody's blown out Alabama. But what they have done is they've put Alabama in shootouts, and Alabama's not comfortable in shootouts because that's not what Alabama's used to. They're used to getting up big and winning 33-7, 45-24. That's what they're used to. They're not used to these back and forth. What? Go ahead.
That was before Tua, though, right? I mean, I feel like Tua has the offense moving kind of fluid.
No. So my prediction score for Oklahoma, Alabama is 45-42. You can pick your winner, just like you can pick your winner for this Heisman Trophy race. You can pick your winner out of that, but it's going to be a 45-42 type game. It's not going to be a Alabama's going to cruise easy. Alabama's going to be on cruise control. We're going to put Alabama to the test with this Oklahoma offense. Now, Oklahoma's defense is trash, and I don't know if that's because Oklahoma actually plays other real offenses where the Alabama Crimson Tide plays Louisville, Sun Belt teams, the Citadel, and then a bunch of bad offenses in the SEC. Because the SEC doesn't play offense.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if you can find me a quarterback if you can find me a quarterback on Alabama's schedule on Kyler Murray's level, you let me know.
Okay, cool. Hook 'em.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's not there.
All
There
right.
isn't one. It's a lot of Joe Burrows, a lot of Jason Stidham or whatever his name is. I was getting
Felipe
him.
Franks.
No, Felipe wasn't on his schedule, but yeah, I mean, there's that type. Who's Tennessee's?
right.
Whoever Tennessee's quarterback is. I mean,
That guy, this
That
other guy, just a bunch of
Felipe
guys.
Franks.
JAGs, Jags, just another.
I mean, I'm
guys
sure we'll
over in
see the
SEC.
Louisiana quarterback playing in the NFL one of these days.
Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely.
And the
Raging
Citadel
Cajuns.
quarterback, man, he's just been lighting it
Woo!
up.
Yeah, top 10. All right, other news. We're gonna move on from college football. We
Sorry.
went college football pretty heavy there. So I'll leave it up to you guys. We can either bounce over to the NBA or we could dive a little deeper into Kareem Hunt because he did clear waivers this today or yesterday. He cleared waivers. No team picks him up. I guess I'm going to take the steering wheel here, and we're going to talk just a little bit on Kareem Hunt. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole because I was on a text string with the two of you this past week, and I had to mute it. I'm telling you right now, I did mute you guys because the back and forth it was got a little aggressive. I know how you two can be. I don't want to open up that rabbit hole, but Kareem Hunt clears waivers. There's not a single NFL team that claims him. Now there's other assault accusations coming out. Some guy at a club said Kareem Hunt beat him up, and he filed charges, but then they got dropped, and it was just kind of a convoluted story. So it's just kind of coming out that Kareem Hunt may not be this really good guy that we knew him as because we didn't really know some of his background. But are you guys surprised that not a single team went after him on waivers, or is this what we expected because of the nasty PR hit the Redskins took for claiming Foster?
No, I think the main reason why is because he's not able to play. He's suspended indefinitely. So you're not going to pick up a guy that you have
That's
no
true.
idea if he's going to be able to play, when he's going to be able to play. You're not picking up that guy no matter what he did. You know what I mean? So if you're suspended indefinitely, nobody's touching you at all. So I think that's the main
true.
reason why. I mean, that's why the Redskins picked up Reuben Foster, because he wasn't suspended. So we've seen the NFL say, we don't care. Can you play? Are you able to play? Same with the Seahawks and the guy with the white-collar crime where he was convicted. If he was suspended,
Kendrick.
the Seahawks wouldn't have picked him up. But because he wasn't suspended, hey, man, you can be a criminal all you want. If you can play, suit up.
Except, I really don't think he's that much of a criminal. We've been back and forth on this, and I get it. The debate's already been had. I have not seen a Kareem Hunt interview, but I already told you. I got to know why. And did he go into why in an interview or no, Cal?
I didn't watch the interview, my friend. I'll be honest with you. Thanks for
I
calling me
didn't
out on
watch
the
it.
air. I appreciate that.
No, that's fine. I didn't watch it either. I haven't had time to sit down and watch it either, but
Honestly,
I'm
I don't even care what his side of the story is. I saw the video. That's all I need to see. He just needs to let
it
this
wasn't
thing
a
pass.
bad video, though. It
was
wasn't a bad
enough.
video.
It was bad enough.
No, it wasn't.
Right now,
Like,
the dust needs to settle. He probably is going to sit out this entire year. This off season, maybe they'll say, okay, we're going to suspend you for this long. Maybe it's a year. Maybe it's 8 games, 12 games. And at that point, maybe a team will take a flyer on him and put him through some sort of reconditioning therapy so that it helps him be a better person. And they should say, okay, for our PR side, we're trying to help this guy out and get him on the right path and improve his life. And, he was just a troubled kid. And you're going to see all of this mess come out. So I do think he's going to play again. I could be wrong. It's not a guarantee. It's really muddy right now. But I do think he will play again. I think he'll be on another team, but nothing's going to happen right now. It'll be at least until the offseason, maybe next year, maybe the year after, before we see some resolution on whether or not Kareem Hunt will get another shot in the NFL.
this season should be his punishment. He should not be punished beyond that. I'm just going to go out. Just going to go out there and say it. He should not be punished beyond this season. Taking the rest of the season off is punishment enough. Being released by the Chiefs is definitely an overreaction for me. I'm just the video, while at first glance seems like it's the worst thing in the world, to me it wasn't. We've seen so much worse.
So here's the thing. I don't need to see Kareem Hunt cock back and utterly obliterate this woman's face before I say, yeah, okay, now it's finally worse. Because that's what Kareem Hunt wanted to do. Kareem Hunt wanted to fight this woman, and there is no way of denying that because you see several people trying to hold Kareem Hunt back, and he's doing everything in his power to get through them so he can chase down this woman and beat her. I've said it in the text message. I'll say it again. Kareem Hunt and this woman are both lucky that other people were there to stop Kareem Hunt. The woman's lucky because she would have been utterly obliterated. Her face would have been beaten in, or she would have been kicked hard. She would have gotten knocked the F out. And Kareem Hunt's lucky that other people were there because had it gotten that worse, like Anthony is saying, had it been that bad, his career would be officially over. So he's lucky that other people were there to take him away, to push him away, to keep him from, instead of actually being able to cock his foot back and kick her hard, he only got a nice little soft kick in because somebody's pulling on him while he's kicking her as she's trying to get back up. And to me,
he got that kick in before he got pulled.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
Stop.
he did. Yes,
we're not
he
gonna,
did. No,
okay,
you
we're not going to
stop.
stop.
No.
We're not going to sit here and debate how hard he kicked her or whether or not he was pulled
Yes,
beforehand.
we will.
The difference
will.
okay, then I'm out. I'm done. I'm not going to debate that with you. Because if you're an idiot who's going to kick one while she's down, whether it's hard or not hard, you're a D-bag. You're an absolute D-bag, and you deserve whatever's coming to you.
The video wasn't that bad, man. It wasn't
Okay.
that damning.
Then
After
that's
watching
Anthony
it
Mack's
20
statement.
times, it was
Okay.
No, I'm just saying it wasn't that
No,
damning.
okay.
And
Well-
once again, we have to know what his state of mind was. What was
His state of
what
mind
did
was
she
I
say?
wanted to
What
beat
did she
this
do?
woman up. It doesn't matter. I
She-
want to beat a
she
woman
was the
who's
instigator
120
the whole
pounds
time.
soaking
She
wet.
was the
I want
instigator the whole time.
That doesn't
And
mean you
let's
get your
this
ass
straight.
beat. That doesn't mean you get your ass beat. I'm sorry. It doesn't.
get
We're a
it.
civilized society. You're an NFL running back. You represent your team. You represent your city. You represent your fan base. You know what you do? You go away. You go into the hotel room that you have access to right there, and you lock the deadbolt. You put that little hooky thing in, and you go to sleep. Or you call security and say, there's a woman outside banging on my door, cursing and screaming and calling me N-word. Can you please remove her? I'm a paying customer. She's not. Can you please get her out? That's what normal people do.
That's not. It's not as cut and dry as you think it is, man. And
All right, so I got
I'm
Ray
just
Rice
saying,
here.
it's
This
not
is
as
what
cut
Ray
and dry as you
Rice's
think it
this
is.
is what Ray Rice's advice to him, and it is that cut and dry. Peer to peer, I would definitely try to help him out. How can we start dealing with the underlying problems in your life? Rice said, because he has a long life to live. This will be a defining moment, but it shouldn't be the moment that defines you. For me, I see you have a long life to live, and that doesn't mean just playing football. You need to just live one day at a time. Let me scroll through here.
I
Okay,
get
and
that.
I say
get
to
that.
myself, I just look at the situation.
But we don't
and
know
say,
the
"Hold
whole
on,
story.
I'm not done.
That's
I'm not
all I'm
done.
saying.
Ray Rice, as he stated, and everybody can agree with this, and I say that to myself. Okay, so he says, I'm not blaming anyone who was with him, but I wish someone that was with him, if he's not in his right state of mind, would have said to him, look at the situation. Is it worth risking it all for a split-second decision for something you know you can get out of? And I say that to myself. I just look at the situation and say, your life wasn't being threatened. So if this was just words, you can block out that situation. So somewhere there's got to show some strength to deal with that properly. It's hard. It is hard to practice what to do in the most intense moments and about making those split-second decisions. I have taken a deeper look at my own life, and I think what was his upbringing like? That's just how I look at it. I know my upbringing wasn't perfect, and I know that's where I masked a lot of my problems. Yes, you can get mad. We've all been mad. We've all been in situations where we wanted to blow up on a female. Trust me, I've been in that relationship where she knew she could push my buttons. She knew what to say to get me over the top. But you as a man, you as a person, need to realize that you can't let yourself get there. You need to figure out ways before you get there to not end up in that situation. And that's what Kareem Hunt has to do. He doesn't need to give excuses. He doesn't need to talk about, oh, well, she said this and that and the other to me, because nobody's going to want to hear it. And that is cut and dry. That is black and white.
No. You should want to hear it.
You want to hear it.
It's part of his redemption or condemnation. We have to know exactly.
He can
what
say
happened.
this is why
we have to know the whole story.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna cut you off because that is the end of the show.
We got to know the whole story. I don't.
As long
I
as
got
it's
some tweeting
apologetic
time
part
in
of the
while
whole
you were
story, I
arguing.
get
It was nice.
As long
Okay,
as
if he apologizes, that's part
I'm
of the
sorry I
story,
brought
but
it
it's
up.
still part of the story.
I'm sorry to all of our listeners I brought it up. Never again.
I bet they liked it.
Peace.